Part 2 of my Sazabi live stream analysis videos. If you haven't seen the first one, then go check that out real quick before you watch this one. So, moving on to the next map here. We got more interesting gameplay. Walks into a choke, doesn't really commit to anything, and should die from it, but doesn't. So, what is a better way to do this, right? So, getting on to what is the point of a Sazabi? What is a Sazabi's job? As you can see here, and he scouts it with his enemy search, which is good, so you have ideas. There's 3 enemies inside the objective. You need to take care of that. No one else on your team can do it. It's your job to go take care of that. So you have 2 options. The first and better option in this situation is to go through the high ground. High grounds are extremely, extremely valuable because you can just walk on top of people and then drop onto them without using any cooldowns, giving you so much flexibility in micro fights where you can save your dash to dodge a cooldown that they hit on you, and then you can use your homing boost to get away. Whereas in this game, that's not an option. Or sorry, in just walking through is really, really, really bad here in comparison because you don't have those advantages. So you should go through the window up here that you can kind of see directly above. And in a lot of situations, you'll honestly be able to just throw the tomahawk above and then homing boost onto it and then fall onto it in a weird way because you can fly above things in this game. Turn A Gundam, for example, can fly above like all the buildings, so you can go over like all of the buildings. It's actually really cool and exciting that you can do all that. But say you can't do that, right? In this situation, you do not ever want to be in a choke, ever, for any reason. You want to be on the side of a choke to stop an enemy team from going through it, or you want to be all the way through the choke. I know it's a little bit scary. Gosh, this quality is really, really bad. Unfortunately, this is the quality that, like, max quality I could get, in addition to the screen tearing, which is in their upload. Kind of weird, but whatever. You don't want to be in the choke because huge amounts of damage go through directly into that spot, and you will tank it even if they didn't mean to shoot you. So it's scary, but you need to go through. You just need to commit. You need to just go. And the thing about playing these games is just play aggressively. Just play aggressively and learn things. I assume everyone here wants to learn and get better. And if you don't try things, you can't learn what went wrong. So just go through. It's the right decision also. Commit all the way through. He should push onto this little mini wall here in the middle and then contest the enemy through there. Use the space and cover and aggress on somebody. And that'll give time and free space for the enemy, or sorry, for his team to push in and start applying damage and potentially take back this objective. Also, as a side note, Marseille hook, I do not believe go through shield. He dropped his shield there. So in this clip, it's a little bit minor, but you have to be really, really, really aware of enemy high damage, high stun, really. It's about the stuns, threats. And I know it's quick, and I know he hasn't played the game much, but assuming this is regular gameplay, because I'm not going to, it's better for me to be strict and talk about things rather than just, whatever. They don't know the game yet. But in this situation, he can see that there's a Barbatos through the wall because his enemy surge up. And he potentially could hurt him and just know he's there in general. You have to be using your shift to dodge this. You can't be taking the damage. But say you do take the damage, it is okay to slow down and get your HP back and not go run off and int. However, our Sazabi player here decides that it is okay for him to run in with 319 HP, even though there's a Metis right behind him who could heal him. And he decides that he's going to go run in and die. And also, may I mention, there's no reason for him to even be on the objective right now. They have control of the objective. The enemy isn't capturing it. There's capture progression on it, but they're not actually on it. And it's also so close to the point where doesn't really matter if they capture it anymore because only 13 seconds left on this portion of the objective. So even if they do capture it, they're only going to get like a few percentage off of it. And that's not game deciding in 9 out of 10 situations. So there's a really important concept of when you're the attacking team, whoever has control of an objective doesn't need to do anything with it. In this situation, they have the point captured. You don't need to do anything with it until they come to you. They have to come to you because they don't have the point otherwise. And you can just wait and wait and wait. You don't need to go run off. You don't need to put damage into them. You don't need to try and force anything until they actually do something. Because in a way, you're giving away your advantages. And so that's what he does here. And likewise, it can happen if the enemy is attacking an objective and capturing it. They can still wait around because now you as a defender have to stop them. So just think about what you really actually have to do. But he just runs off and feeds because feeding is fun. So This section of the capture map, which by the way, this whole map is my favorite map in the game so far. It's nice and open, has good cover. It's just the best design in my opinion. I hope the rest of them come out like this. But in this section of the map, there's a nice big open area with a high ground, and then there's 4 entry points other than that. There's one on the left, one behind where the Sazabi went through, one on the right with the Sazabi, it's a mirror side, and then another one on the opposite side. So they're capturing the objective right now. But it's not really Sazabi's job to do that. Sazabi will get a lot more value out of stopping the enemy from stopping his team from capturing than just standing on the point. But instead he's just going to AFK and stand out in the open and not know what to do. What he really should be doing is going onto this high ground up here. He should be following this Tomahawk, standing up there, finding the biggest targets for him to contest when they show up, and then contesting them. The best thing for him to do would be walking down this little platform and like where he's looking at directly right now, and then contesting them as they try and contest his team on the point. And he would have much more better chances there. But instead he takes a bunch of damage because he's not shielding, because he walks out while he's reloading. You can't shield while you're reloading, so you need to reload behind cover. Tanks damage, doesn't get anything done. Backs up into open space. You don't want to do that. If you're hiding and you're trying to back up, you want to back up towards his cover. So even if he does, you do mess up and you're standing in the spot like right here, you should kite to the left side, because that's the side where your team's coming from. These sort of objective maps are going to be really, really funky just because of the way that any team can play on them. Sorry, just the way that like they swap around the map, and it'll make like a lot of people randomly be in places you wouldn't really expect them, especially on the middle capture point, so B. So you got to be wary of them coming from anywhere, but usually the enemies won't be coming from your side, so it's safe to go to your side. And if they do, then you can just turn on them and kill them, and then turn on the enemy team. All right, so here we have the objective that we looked at before, A, but this is inside of it. So our Sazabi player doesn't understand what his job is. He doesn't understand what his character does. He's playing at range, which is really bad for Sazabi, and he's not contesting anything. While he's also standing out in the open. Like, I know, yeah, he's kind of in cover, but he's really not. He's still able to be seen by a lot of people. And he's not holding in a place that he's actually safe in. The best place for him to stay would be in the high section of this objective, where he can stand there, avoid all damage, stop anybody from coming from the high ground, or sorry, stop anybody going into the window, and getting a better place, and also just avoid all the damage, and be ready to drop onto the enemy team as they walk into the objective when it actually unlocks. But he chooses to do none of that, and so he's just getting like just really poor value. If you haven't seen my Sazabi guide, then make sure to check it out. It has all the information for Sazabi summarized and lots of top analysis too with it. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I appreciate you, and see you guys later.